All right, everybody, how are y'all doing tonight? We don't have no music tonight because we're actually doing something a little different with our show. I kind of had this whole plan all worked out. We was going to have James on. We finally got all our stuff set up to have live feed with James, and James has got the flu going on. He's got the flu bug going around his house right now, and with him and his daughter is sick. So, guys, it's a one-man show tonight. So, if you're coming in and watching and you see him, you kind of struggle a little bit with some operations. Well, it's just because we're doing a one-man show. Whoop. I kind of had this. There you go. Sorry about that. Anyways, so it's just me tonight. We got a great show lined up. But first off, I want to thank all our sponsors, guys. We got some really great sponsors. A lot of these sponsors are helping out with our Christmas giveaway this year. Really excited about everything that we have, and we'll go over that in a little while on what all we have. We got some great stuff from Bonafide. We got a package that's coming in tomorrow from Pole, so I won't have that with me to show tonight. Some great stuff from Yak Attack, Falcon Rods. Got a few things from Alcohol, Missile Baits. Guys, we got a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm hoping that we can get James up here maybe this weekend. If not, if he's feeling better, hopefully it's not the flu, but if he's feeling better, we're going to go ahead and get him at least on Skype. And that way we can all be a part of the Christmas series. My buddy Chris, he's going to be coming in Saturday. I'm going to be going through a whole, like after this show, I'm going to be going through the studio and ripping everything out and redoing everything. I've been talking about it. So the show's going to look a little different maybe. I don't know how we're going to go with it yet. But just really excited about how far the show's coming and finally have a decent studio. I mean, I'm happy with what I got now and really blessed with what all we have, but just excited about things growing with the show. So got some really cool things going on though. Like I said, we're going to start having James on live every show. We're going to hopefully start doing this more with our guests and getting them on live. That way y'all can kind of see face to face how everything's, talking with everybody and you see who we're talking to instead of hearing it. So, but anyways, tonight's show, we're going to be going over the Bassmaster Team Championship. And we got the winners on the team side. Now, for those that don't know what I'm talking about in the post, I say on the team side, what Bassmasters does is they go and so you qualify through several organizations that are recognized by Bassmaster as a team event. Through Fishers of Men, English Choice are kind of the big ones around here. I'm not sure about some of the other ones across the country, but I know those are the two big ones around here. So you qualify as a team. You go down there and you fish for, I think it's 3 days, and then the winner of the team, they'll win a boat and some money, or I'm not exactly sure how much they won and all that, but we'll get into that with them. But then it goes off to the they split that team up, so they take the top 6, I think it is, and they have to have their own boat. So Bass gives the co-anglers a boat to use, and then they all fish head-to-head, and the one that wins goes to the Bassmasters Classic. Pretty cool format. I think it's a great way Bass is stepping in to get some more people in, because you really think about it. I mean, yes, the Federation, it's a really hard way to qualify for the Bassmasters Classic. Not saying team championships any easier, but I think you don't have so many processes to go through. I mean, you have all your tournaments to make sure you do good in points to make it to the team championship. And then you have that event there. Federation, you have so many qualifying events to go through to make the state team, then the regionals, and then you go. So I think this was pretty cool how they did it. But anyways, on the team side, we had William Samples and Tyler Purcell. They ended up winning let's see if I got a picture here. Here you go. Sorry if y'all hear something going on upstairs. I think it's my kids banging around, but everybody's out for Christmas. Everybody's excited about Christmas break right now. But anyways, we got them. We'll have these guys on. They're going to talk a little bit about how they were able to get it done, and I mean, 2 Virginia boys. Who could ask for anything better? 2 Virginia boys going down there and doing really good on a Florida body of water that was at a tough time. So anyways, I'm going to go through, try to get them all linked in, and then see what happens. So let's go ahead and call him and see if we can get him on here. Bear with me. Hey guys, how y'all doing tonight? Can you hear me okay?
A little.
What's that, buddy?
Yeah, we can hear you good, man.
All right, awesome. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad, guys. I really appreciate y'all coming on tonight. Congratulations on winning the team side of the championship. What's it feel like, man? I mean, I see this picture I got up right now with you guys sitting in a nitro. When you went down there, in your wildest dreams, did you think this was going to happen, going to Florida, a long ways away from home, different kind of body of water? What was your thoughts going there?
Man, I had no idea we had even had a shot. We've never really fished outside the state of Virginia or North Carolina much, so Florida was a brand new experience for us.
And y'all kind of hit that at an odd time because my boss works with me. He went down there, so I kind of lived vicariously through him on how everything was going. And it was kind of like you had some warm weather, but you also had a lot of cold weather as well. How was that hard for you guys during practice? Did y'all get on a really good bite?
We did. When we first got down there, we started out at Lake Dora. At first, we thought that was one of the smallest lakes till we figured out it actually had two parts. But we started out down there, and we started out flipping. That's what me and him both really like to do back home here. In about 10 minutes, I caught one 3.5 pounds flipping, and but the cold front hadn't set in yet. We knew that there was supposed to be a cold front coming in Tuesday night, and that was Sunday morning, the first day of practice. So we caught some fish shallow. We caught some fish on a frog and a jig shallow, but we figured that with that cold front coming in and with the drastic drop that it had, it was the nights, the low of the nights was 60 when we first got down there, and Tuesday night it was supposed to get down to
39.
Yeah, 39 degrees, 40 degrees, so a 20-degree drop. We then started, instead of focusing on what we could catch at the moment, we were looking for more of what we were going to be able to catch in the cold front. So we initially we went out and started looking a little deeper at the grass.
Yeah. Now, kind of looking, I was looking through, I think it was William's Facebook page, and he had a picture of some chatterbaits and was talking about going big, going for the win. Is that so? Kind of looking at some of the baits y'all had, it looks like it went different for y'all. Like y'all still had to make some changes. Well,
that's kind of you're feeding off of what the other guys are doing out there as well. The bass cast was kind of live updating, and Andy Crawford was taking some great photos out there, and his photos were really good. And there was one gentleman, we didn't throw those baits until the very last day. The very last day, I noticed what was his name, Mark Roberts. Yeah, Mark Robertson was throwing. He was throwing 6, 8, 12-inch swim baits. That was really the only thing that I had left at home, and Tyler as well. We didn't bring our Huddlestons with us, but so I tied on the closest thing that I had to it, and I actually got some bites on them on that last day, on the last single day, but I couldn't put nothing together to bring it in. But that's apparently what Mark Robertson was catching them on, was a 8-inch swim bait was his go-to bait. But for us, the jig, we were throwing a 1/2-ounce TaylorMade snaggle-proof jig. I don't know if you have any pictures of that up, but yeah. That thing it doesn't have a wire guard. It's completely different than any other jig you'll throw. It doesn't have a wire guard, so it loses that bulk. And I think that was a big part of our success, because we had a lot of boats fishing around us. They saw us dragging jigs. They were tying their jigs on, but we were the only ones. We were the only ones catching, the quality fish out of that grass bed. And I think, part of that key was to still have a big lure, but it still be confined minus that weed guard. The design of it, it went right through that hydrilla, not hanging up. I had no problems fishing it. That hydrilla was topping out from 0 to 13 foot. And like I said, that jig had no problem. The wind was blowing on day 1. Day 2, we caught them all on a half-ounce TaylorMade shaky head. Tyler, he figured that out on day 2. He tied on the shaky head with a old monster black emerald ribbon tail worm, and he started bringing them in the boat. So like I said, that was the two lures we used on day 1 and day 2 mainly.
Now, when you go down to Florida, what were some key things? Now, from what I hear is like y'all had some motor issues on day 1, trolling motor issues on one of the days.
That was actually part of the singles. So after the championship was won, the top 3 teams got broken up, and me and Tyler got split up, and he was put on a new Phoenix boat provided by Bass. And
unfortunately, she didn't want to run that morning.
Oh, man.
Yeah, his boat.
I made it 30 feet.
Yep, and then I accidentally, we took off that morning, and I was trying to make sure I dodged the ducks out there, and I ran through a little isolated patch of hydrilla and clogged up my water pump, so I was down for about an hour out there overheated on Lake Harris, trying to get back to Lake Eustis where our hot spot was.
Yeah. Now, how fishing Virginia, we all fish a lot. It's a lot of laydowns, a lot of rock cover, stuff like that. When you go down to Florida, what are some key things that y'all were looking for to stumble across an area that you have right here? Because it seems like you had to be in that perfect area. A lot of people were flipping baits, punching and all that, but it seems like y'all had something figured out there that somebody else didn't. So what do you think was different about your spot than what other people were fishing?
Well, we were the deepest. Most everybody else was fishing 10 to 8 foot of water. We had found basically the honey hole inside it. It was a grass bed. The grass bed was probably, I would say, 30 acres in size. We found a dredged hole that they had dredged out of that several years back, and it was about 13 and a half foot. And what that dredge hole had done was create basically a horseshoe with 2 ditch lines running to it. And we fished those 2 ditch lines. It was just basically like highways.
Pretty much a 70-yard stretch all day.
Yep.
Until 12.
Yep. And the fish just kept, we had about 18 boats at about a given time. There was about 18 boats out on that grass flat fishing around us. And I believe most of them had their sonars on, pinging. We turned ours off, and we just let them kind of push the fish out to us, and we just stayed on those 2 ditch lines and waited till they come by.
And that was kind of getting to one of the next questions I had was, how important was your electronics to finding this spot? Was it something you kind of fished across, or did y'all use your grass for a while before you even made any casts?
Yeah, we used it for a little while, but we seen that grass and started casting, and Clay ended up catching a really big one, like his second cast.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, the electronics kind of showed how they were setting up. That kind of helped us figure out which direction we needed to cast with, which I talked to a bunch of other anglers, and they had never really heard that, but it was something I've learned up here in Virginia, smallmouth fishing in the rivers. I fished Stanton River here off of Bugs Island, and I learned that the smallmouth, when they're in a negative mood, they'll actually set up on the backside of the rock, and they'll face down with the current. And so if you bring that bait back up backwards against the current, and you hold it in front of them for about 10 seconds, they will eventually commit to it. And that was something else that we noticed that nobody else around us had figured out. They were all casting into the wind. And I do not believe that we ever caught a fish casting into the wind on the spots that we were fishing. We were casting with the wind and bringing it back as slow as we could. And when we felt it, come off of one of those little tiny isolated patches or come off of that wall of hydrilla at that horseshoe we were fishing or off of the side of the ditch line, we would just sit there and hold it for a second, and they would commit.
Wow. What was y'all's setup for that? I mean, I know that's heavy line. You don't go down there with a drop shot line and, 8-pound test fluorocarbon, nothing like that. What was y'all setup with rod, reel, and line?
Well, I was using a 20-pound Seagar fluorocarbon on my big worm and 20-pound Seagar on my jig.
And I was doing the same. Actually on the way down there, I had actually bought a heavy stick flipping rod, and I usually throw 65-pound braid up here. But when we saw the amount of pressure that area was getting, we both actually cut all of our braid off and switched to that 20-pound fluorocarbon. We figured that we had to get them to bite before we had to worry about getting them out to grass. So we actually, took the risk. We downsized. I did break one off on day one of the tournament, and, didn't see him, so don't know if he would have helped or not helped. But, I think downsizing that line with the pressure that was around us, also gave us an edge. Most of all the people around us were throwing nothing but braid.
Man. Now kind of go into the last day where y'all ended up winning the team division. How was y'all's day? Did y'all end up finishing out a limit quick, or was it kind of one of those you got just a couple bites here and there until you finished at your limit? I mean, you hear so much about Florida fishing and catching a lot of fish at certain times of the year, but was it like that for you guys?
Oh, that last day we had a limit in 15 minutes, but they were all very small, pound and a half fish. And I don't know, about 10:30, 11 o'clock, the window bite turned on, and we had 21 pounds by 12.
Shoo. That's crazy, man. I know I've always wanted to get the opportunity to go down there, and I go on Google Maps and look at a lot of the lakes around there, and it's kind of intimidating looking at the lakes because everything's grass, everything looks so good. How much research did y'all do prior to that? I mean, did y'all have any help from other people down that way, or did y'all just kind of look at maps and say, hey, let's just break down this area right here? I mean, how did you pick the spot that y'all picked? You know what I mean? Kind of that area.
Well, to be 100% honest with you, we didn't even know we were going to make it to go to Florida until about 4 or 5 days before we had to leave. We were basically like 3 teams out from the cut line through the Angler's Choice team trail event from making it, and at the last moment there was a couple teams that dropped out from being able to go. They had some emergencies pop up, so we got a phone call, asked us if we could fill in and go down there and fish. And I had hoped back in the springtime we could, so I had done a tiny bit of research back midsummer when I knew we were close to making it on that cut line, but very, very little. Basically, we went down there and we threw everything that we had in our shots except for our big swim bait. We threw all of that into the truck. We got down there. We were actually lining rods up and tying baits on and organizing tackle all night Saturday night into Sunday morning. I don't think we fished. I don't think we slept for like 2 hours on that Saturday night after getting down there before.
Been there, done that in a many a tournaments, man. That ain't no fun, but it's all worth it in the end. But
that's right. But basically we just fished our strengths. We got one lake back here at home. Me and Tyler both really enjoy the fish. It's Mayo Lake in North Carolina. It's got the deep hydrilla in it. And when we obviously with a little bit of research, we knew those lakes had that deep hydrilla. We knew that we were in a pre-spawn mode, so we knew that hydrilla was going to be a huge factor, along with hard spots that were surrounding them or in between the grass. And that's basically what we just did. We went out there, we fished, and
spent a couple hours idling.
Hours idling. Like I said, after I casted 2 times on that one main spot, caught that 7-pounder. We marked it. We never casted within probably 400 or 500 yards of that spot the next 2 days of practice. All we did was go over each day, idle. we made sure the fish were still there. The fish showed up on the graph in between the hydrilla, on the backside of it, on top of it, and we knew that we had found something special. We could tell with the size of the arcs that they were quality fish in the area.
That's awesome, guys. Now, tell me a little bit about y'all won the boat. It looks y'all look. I'm trying to pull this picture up. Let's see. Here we go. Y'all won the boat. It looks like y'all went, I guess, to Bass Pro Shops and took your picture and in the boat. Now, is that something that boat just stayed down there? Y'all got pictures with it, or I mean, hey, are y'all gonna try to sell that boat, or what y'all gonna do?
Yeah, we just took pictures. That is technically the boat we won if we wanted it. The certificate's basically like a $42,000 gift card. And so we just went down there to take a picture with the boat to show, my wife back home and family weren't quite sure, what we had won and this and that. So we just took a picture to show them, hey, this is, a week's worth of fishing, and we just, this is what we want. It's worth it, that those years or 2 years. This is me and Tyler's it's our only second year really fishing tournaments. Yeah, tournaments to really get this far into it. So for us to do that in 2 years, I think is amazing in itself, and I'm excited that we obviously we get the automatic spot for next year into it, and as soon as they announce where we're going to go, I think me and Tyler are going to be heading down there to do some pre-fishing.
That's really awesome. Yeah, I didn't even know that automatically put y'all into it for the next year, so that's really cool. So now y'all, when you fish, I guess, do y'all plan on fishing Angler's Choice again this year or coming up year?
We will. Angler's Choice is a great trail. For the most part, it's a $5,000 guarantee payout for at least a field of 150 boats.
Some of the best fishermen around.
It's some great fishermen. When you win one, you have done something. And I've got 3 kids and a full-time job and a business to run, so I can't really, if it doesn't pay for itself, I can't really do it. And to justify my time out there fishing, I want it to mean something if I win. So yeah, I'm fishing Angler's Choice this year, pretty much. So I might enter a BFL here or there that come along, but for the most part, Angler's Choice is where I'll be.
So now y'all can go fish for broke, really. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about the points and trying to qualify. Now you just go fish to win every event, so you can go big or go home.
Oh yeah, we didn't really think of that.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that, but that's always been my motto. Even from day one, Tyler would tell you, if we're catching 1 pound fish, I'm going to tie something else on, or I'm going to leave that area.
Yeah.
I've really fished. My strength is a jig. I've always fished jigs. I've been fishing jigs extremely solely, pretty much a jig 98% of the time. If I ain't got that on, I got a frog or a buzzbait. And so I go for those better than average fish. Especially down here where we're from on Bugs Island, it seems like that jig gets you the best quality.
Yeah, most definitely. I love fishing Bugs Island. I try to make I wasn't able to make it this year. I'm only about 2 hours from it. I try to make a trip every year, a couple times a year. And my biggest thing, I love getting out on the points at Bugs Island and just fishing deep, cranking. And I love Bugs Island in June and July and stuff like that. So it's a great fishery. And I've always told people I fish Smith, but Smith for me, for some reason, doesn't fish like a lake should fish. But I can go to Bugs Island, and if that lake fishes like a lake you think should fish, you know what I mean? If they're on points, you just hit points all day.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
Smith very
yeah,
Smith Mountain's funny. Either what you would normally do, what we found on Smith, me and Tyler this fall, we fished the Angler's Choice Fall Classic Championship Classic that was there in October, and we did really well in that. But you got to either go deeper or shallower than what you would expect, and either one of them two the results you're looking for. But if you try to stay in that same depth zone that you're catching them at other lakes around the area, you're usually messing up.
Yep, that's exactly right. It's always been, and that's my home water, but it always seems like you either do good or you suck really bad. So Bugs Island, you can go down there and see most of the time do pretty decent. I mean, you might not have a winning bag, but can at least catch. I always feel like I at least catch 10 or 11 pounds at bugs. For some reason, Smith is a struggle for me. But let's talk a little bit. Y'all went down there. We were all bracing for the snowstorm that was getting ready to hit. And I got a picture here. This is your boat. I'm assuming this is William's boat covered in snow here.
It is, and it's still dripping water, buddy.
Yeah, I seen that. And I was thinking, because like I say, my boss was down there, and I was thinking about all the Virginia guys that was fishing. And I'm like, man, they got to come back in that snowstorm. And it was coming, started in North Carolina and all the way up through Virginia. I knew that was going to be a nasty trip.
Oh, yeah. Man, we took some videos, which some of it we didn't want to post on Facebook, but man, I love North Carolina, but the North Carolina drivers, man, they scared me. I was hauling this boat, and I was going about 35. We were okay until we hit Raleigh area. Once we hit Raleigh area, we had to start creeping. Going down the downhill slopes, everything started getting real slick. That boat was trying to push the rear end of the truck around. It actually took us 18 hours to get home versus the 12 it took to get there. So snowstorm added 6 hours to a very long drive.
Oh yeah, I can see. I mean, I'm just looking at that picture, man. That's a mess right there. When you gotta let that, and you can't you can't really pull it out because it ain't been warm enough. Well, a couple of days have been, but to really let it dry out, it's just one of you have to sit your fans up and let them go and try to dry the boat out the best you can.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I got a garage the boat's sitting in, so we've had all the covers, lids open on it, trying to let it vent. And like I said, at least all the flat surfaces have dried out, but anything concave has still got a little bit of water sitting in it.
Well, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming on tonight, man, and congratulations to you guys again, and looking forward to seeing how y'all do next year, and especially, only 2 years in, that's a big accomplishment for where y'all are at right now. So I see a bright future for you guys, and looking forward to having you guys on the show again.
Well, yes, sir. Most definitely. We appreciate you having us.
Do y'all have any sponsors or anything you want to shout out to that helped you along your way for your trip and all that?
Yeah, basically, Taylor Man Custom Lures. Check him out. Yeah, check him out. He built the color pattern, which was black and blue pumpkin. Was the jig that we were throwing down there in Florida. We also use it on Smith Mountain Lake, and we're planning on mixing it in on Bugs Island here. But that black and blue pumpkin has basically since after midsummer has really done us a extreme good job. We've won 2 tournaments on it, and this was the 3rd big one that we've won on that color. So most definitely check them out. Check that color out. I think everybody will be highly impressed.
All right, guys. Well, that's awesome, guys. Y'all have a great night. Looking forward to seeing some more fish pictures coming from you guys, and hopefully some more wins. But thanks for coming on again tonight, guys.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Y'all have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, man. That was a really good interview with William and Tyler. 2 really good guys. Very well-spoken guys when it comes to fishing. That they like talking about it, and they're very passionate about it. You can see it. I mean, I'm not saying that people don't talk, ain't passionate about it, but you can tell just the excitement of talking about fishing. And I love that. I love getting guys on that are truly in love with the sport and love to talk about it and help people out as well. That's a big thing. I mean, we've had some pros on that just, they don't like talk much. They're here to say whatever they need to say and get on off. So I really appreciate them guys talking with us and going in depth on some tackle and all that they use. And guys that are from Virginia that are listening, really listen to what they're saying, especially like a lot of us fish the river systems and the kayaks and all that. There was some great information in that, and if you didn't catch it, go back and listen to it, just on how smallmouth set up. And that's some things that I've never really thought about. But I know them guys fishing the Stanton River and all that. I know I've heard people doing different things that I never really thought about catching smallmouth. So it's getting me. I'm looking forward to fishing this summer now for the rivers. But anyways, great interview. Congratulations again, guys. That was awesome to see some guys from Virginia going down there and whooping some Florida boys. At least on the team side of it. Anyways, y'all did good. Y'all made Virginia proud. So before we get into our next conversation with our prize pack and some news from Yak Attack, that's why I got the Yak Attack shirt on tonight. Really excited for Yak Attack and what all they're growing and how they're growing and big things that are coming for them and with Bonafide as well. So, but hey, if you haven't checked out our hats yet, our shipping was really high. I went through and talked to our web guy, and we got our shipping back down on the hat. So if you haven't ordered a hat yet, we have very limited stock right now. Actually, I don't know how many James has. I think I have 2, but they're all actually I got 2 in my hands right now, and they are accounted for. So I'm out. James will probably have a couple more. I don't know, but we'll be ordering some more. So it ain't like we're not going to order anymore. Also on hat colors, I just kind of was thinking about it today. What are some hat colors that y'all would like to have? You know, when it comes to, you know, if you would like to rep OneObjective, what kind of hat colors would you like to have? You like the dark colors? Do you like more of the reds, the blues? Let us know. You know, you can message us on Facebook, message us here. You can comment on our post or on message in this video, and just let us know what kind of colors would y'all be interested in on hats. So we're not going to get a bunch of different crazy colors because we just don't have a lot of inventory that don't sell or whatever. So, but anyways, all right, we are going to be doing our Christmas giveaway this Saturday. Come hell or high water, it's going to be this Saturday. If my studio's done, it's going to be this Saturday. If it's not, it's going to be this Saturday. So really looking forward to it. Last year went really well. What do you guys think of the Bonafide rotor? Is it really needed? I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's a great thing that they're doing, answering what a lot of people are calling for when it comes to a lot of people fish rivers or want just to have that rudder system, you know, windy days. Sometimes a rudder, I think, helps. I know when I was using another brand at one time, it had a rudder. It was nice sometimes for it to kick and help you a little bit. If you got a trolling motor or, I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest with you. Like, I think it's a great idea. I think it's going to be great for Bonafide. I think it looks really cool how the blade is. But, yeah, I think depending on what you fish and the conditions you fish, you know, whether you need it or not. But I mean, really, I'm going to get one. I want to try it out. I want to see if it's any different for me. I know sometimes that if I'm out fishing a wind and the wind's kind of blowing me a little bit and it's kind of kicking the back end around or the front end around, you can kind of flip that rudder real quick and it'll kind of straighten you a little bit, you know. Fishing a river, it's nice if you're kind of going down river, making casts, and you want to make little adjustments. I think it's really good to have. So, yeah, I think it's needed in certain situations. Some no. Now I like to run a power pole, so that's going to be kind of a issue with me. But we're looking at picking up 2 more boats, me and James, and it's going to be kind of our river boat. So we'll probably do something. We'll be getting a rudder and putting it on them, and probably going to be a RS. So looking forward to getting that. And actually put our thing in to get one. So. But kind of since we're on that subject, before we get to the Christmas thing, if y'all haven't paid any attention to Yak Attack, they're moving back into Farmville, which they wasn't real far from it, but they're actually getting a bigger place. It's a really nice looking place. I toured Yak Attack back in the spring, I think it was, or summer, sometime close to spring or summer. And it was really cool to see the operation, how everything was made. I mean, it's truly 100% American made there, you know. So it's really cool to see all that made. Cool to see, you know, a lot of other parts made for Bonafide and stuff like that there. And to them move to a bigger plant, hopefully opening more job opportunities for other people. And so I think it's really great what Luther and the team of Yak Attack and Bonafide are doing, working really hard at helping grow in this kayak industry. And kudos to you guys. Y'all are top-notch people, and looking forward to seeing what Yak Attack has in store for the future. I know they got some stuff that's going to come out that I've seen that I'm really looking forward to. I was trying to get my hands on it earlier. I don't think John and Luther and all them are going to let us yet, but I hope we can pull some strings and get some of this stuff early. Do a couple of videos and show you guys. I know we'll be getting a rudder, and we'll be doing an install video and all that. So, Bass Cat Dave, I like the lighter colors, but not white. Grays and blues, yeah, I'm with you. White's nice. It looks good for the first 10 minutes that you own the hat, and then it's dirty. So, what's this sound like? This is another question I want to ask. What does the sound like tonight on tonight's shows? Do you notice any difference? Is it better? Is it worse? Let us know in the comments. Something else, guys, please hit the like button if you like the show so far. If you like our shows, please hit that like button. It helps us get that show out there just a little bit more, get more people involved, checking out our show. So, anyways, enough promoting that. Kind of want to show you a couple little things we got for our Christmas kayak giveaway. No, we're not giving away a kayak. Our Christmas giveaway. Falcon was generous. I'm going to see if I can get this in here without breaking it. Falcon will be giving away a Cara rod. This is a $250 rod. This one is which one is this one? This one is the swim jig rod. So it's a medium heavy. It's a great worm rod. Great spinnerbait rod. Like I say, swim jig, chatterbait, stuff like that. Really great rod. I think actually both of those rods are the same. Let me double check here. Bear with me for a minute. Let's see. No, this is a medium cranking. So this is cranking rod. So all you guys that watch the show, love cranking, this is a good rod right here. This one, I actually have this rod. And I actually have it in a low rider too. And both rods are really good. Actually, the low rider I got is a Cajun cranking rod. And on a square bill, that rod is nasty. I will tell you that. If y'all haven't tried Falcon rods, you need to try them out. Some people, everybody talks about, and on these rods I'm about to name, there's nothing wrong with them. They're good rods as well. But everybody talks about the newest rods out, the Duckett rods, Cash and rods. We all know G Loomis, all of them. They're good rods, all those rods. But their price points, like the Cash and Duckett's, Falcon, all of them are kind of in that same. They're all in that same price point with $150, $200, $250 rods. And just the customer service I've had with Falcon before we got on the pro staff has been exceptional. Anytime I had an issue, I called them, they took care of it. So really great people. Sam over there, they've really taken care of us. I really appreciate you guys. So we got 2 Falcon rods that we're giving away. And then I'm also, PowerPole is sending a few items for giveaway as well. That package should be in tomorrow. I'm going to have a picture up tomorrow or Friday of all the stuff, all the goodies we got that we'll be giving away. Now, I'm trying to figure out if we're going to do something with just the listeners on our show. You know what I mean? Like doing some trivia. I don't really want to do the same generic like, share, comment for this. So I'm really coming up with something. We'll have something ready for Saturday. So guys, just stay tuned. Make sure you come on. It's going to be an interaction kind of giveaway. So tell your friends, all that. Come on, and we'll be giving away hopefully a lot of stuff. So next, it's going to be the Bonafide Yak Attack box. Let's see if I can get this over here without knocking everything over. So we got some nice Bonafide hats. There we go. Bonafide shirt. Nice sports shirt from Bonafide. And the koozies in there. Bonafide stickers. And then Yak Attack. Zuka Tube. This is the Zuka Tube. This is a Zuka Tube. Zuka 2. Sorry. So that's going to make a great gift for that special kayaker in your life. We were going to try to do this show earlier so everybody could get these before Christmas, and life got in the way with everything else. So, sorry about all the beating and banging on the mic. But anyways, so that's what we'll be giving away for our Christmas contest. Like I said, we'll have some stuff in there from Missile Baits. We'll have some stuff in there from AccuCoal. I was really trying with some other companies, but just kind of this time of the year, it's hard to get product from some of these companies because they've already done so much to the year with other giveaways. So I'm going to try a little bit harder this coming up year and getting some stuff at the beginning of the year. And then we also got the Classic coming up. So we'll have a bunch of stuff coming up. I don't want to keep rambling about it. But anyways, well, guys, I think I'm about done. I don't have too much more to discuss tonight. I do want to congratulate Matthew Robertson from Kentucky on winning the Bassmaster Team Championship. He'll be going to the Bassmasters Classic. The thing to watch is him because they're going to be doing it on – they're having the Classic on his body of water. That's his body of water. That's where he loves to fish. He's even made a statement, then people are going to know who he is at the end of this tournament. He's not saying he's going to win, but he plans on making a mark for himself in Bassmaster, in the community of Bassmaster. So I think it's going to be a great event. We're still waiting for everything to come back through from Bassmasters so we can get in there and start covering some of that, getting set up for the KBF National Championship. So we got a lot going on, but Christmas is right around the corner, so probably right after this, we got the show Saturday, or special show. We'll take a break for a little bit. We might be off all next week. I don't know if we'll have a show next week after the Saturday show, but stay tuned for more videos. Guys, we've been trying to post a couple videos a week, just kind of some tips and tricks and stuff like that. So, what do you say? Shoot, I need a smaller river yak. But I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Guys, I really love having all y'all coming in and watching us talk about fishing. So it's really nice having y'all on. Thanks everybody that was on the chat live chat tonight. And guys, y'all have a great night. Please share this with your friends. Please like it, and please hit that subscribe button. I'll talk to you later, guys. See ya.